Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Morgan and today I have something a little bit different for you guys. My friend Chelsea is having a beautiful baby girl and I asked her if I could throw her a baby shower, so I have the cutest baby shower decorations coming right at you guys. So this baby shower is themed Baby in Bloom. So I have tons of floral decorations for you guys. We are making giant 7-foot flowers, a balloon arch, and a floral chandelier. Not to mention the cutest and most delicious baby shower foods and drinks that you will ever have. And while it is a baby shower for a little girl, the decorations really could be used for any kind of party. Weddings, birthday parties, especially for girls. And since right now all I have is a little boy, I had to go all out, of course. So let's get started. To start off our giant flowers, we're going to make the base. The base is a plastic cup filled with cement. So I used Cement-All and put 2 cups of cement and half a cup of water in each cup and then stirred it until it was combined. I am following a tutorial that I found on Pinterest. I'll link it below for you guys to check out. I ended up doing 8 flowers in total, so I made 8 cups of cement. The more cement you use in the cup, the better, because it will prevent your flower from falling over. I originally only filled my cups halfway with cement, but the flower is really top heavy, so they kept falling over. So I went back and filled the cups to the rim with cement, and that solved that problem of my flowers falling over. To make the stem of the flower, I'm using something called Stucco Corner, which can be found at your local hardware store. These are about 5 inches wide and 10 feet tall and are about $5 each. I measured out how tall I wanted my stem and then used tin snips to cut the metal. Depending on how tall you want your flowers to be, you can get 2 to 3 stems from each piece of Stucco Corner. For my flowers, I had 2 5-foot stems, 2 4-foot stems, 2 3-foot stems, and 2 2-foot stems. I really liked how these heights looked together. However, I realized at the party that a lot of the flowers were hidden behind people when they were taking their pictures. So I would recommend making more tall flowers around 5 or 6 feet so they are more easily seen in the pictures, but that's only if you're using them for a photo backdrop. Once your Stucco Corner is cut, you can go ahead and shape it into a cylinder. I found it's helpful to flatten the wire piece first and then to go back and round the edges, but just be careful not to cut yourself. Once you have the stem the shape that you like, take your cup of cement, flip it upside down, and tape your stem to it. Once the wire is taped to the cup, you'll notice that the wire doesn't stick straight up. It kind of leans to the side and throws off the balance. So just work with the wire a little bit, bend it in different ways until it stands straight. Once you have it how you like it, cover all of the wire in tape. Now that your stems are done, it's time to make the petals. I used rolls of crepe paper to do this. I'll link the exact ones I used in the description box below. I ended up using 1 roll of crepe paper per flower. So the way that worked for me when cutting my petals, I folded the crepe paper over about 5 inches and then cut off that piece of paper. And I just did that for the entire roll of paper. So the whole roll is cut into 10-inch wide strips. It's not really necessary to fold the paper first before cutting them into strips. It just really helped me to be able to eyeball how much to cut rather than measuring each time. Now for this flower, I made 3 different sized petals. For the largest petal, take 1 of your 10-inch strips, fold it in half with the grains of the paper vertical. Then, leaving 2 to 3 inches of paper from the folded line, cut a diagonal line toward the outside of the paper. Make sure you don't cut the folded edge of the paper though. Then cut a rounded edge at the top of the paper. You can then unfold the paper and there you go, your first petal. To do the medium-sized petal, take a 10-inch section of paper and fold it horizontally or hamburger style, then fold it again vertically or hot dog style. Then do the exact same cuts as before. Again, make sure to not cut the folded edge when cutting. Once you unfold it, you will have 2 medium-sized petals. For the smallest petals, fold your 10-inch section of paper horizontally, then vertically like before, but then do 1 more fold horizontally. On this one, I just cut out the full petal shape, so the top was round and the bottom was angular. When you unfold it, you have to cut some of them apart, but all in all, you'll get 8 petals from that. In total, I made 5 large petals, 6 medium petals, and 8 small petals. For the center of the flower, I cut out a small piece of cardboard, rolled it into a cylinder, and then taped it to secure it. You could also use a toilet paper roll, but if you do that, I would cut it down the side, roll it tighter so there isn't as big of an opening, and then secure it. Once you have your cardboard center, take your smallest petal and scrunch the bottom of the petal. The result should kind of remind you of a paper airplane. Put some hot glue on the bottom of your petal and attach it to your roll of cardboard. Do this with all of your small petals, making sure to glue them to the top of the cardboard. You want to be able to see as much of the petal as possible. When gluing, make sure you slightly overlap each petal, and also be careful not to burn yourself on the glue because crepe paper is quite thin. Once you have all the small petals on, do the exact same thing but with the medium petals. Again, making sure that the petals are as high up as possible on the cardboard and slightly overlapping each petal. You might notice some raised crepe paper at the base of your flower. Go ahead and use a bit of hot glue just to stick that down. Next, we're going in with our large petals. We're doing the exact same thing, but this time we're going to attach the petals a few inches lower than the small petals. We're also going to apply more hot glue farther up on these petals to give them more stability.
I won't turn my back, even if it takes some time. Never wanna see you cry. Girl, you need to know it's life means sometimes that we fight. At least we're sitting side by side.
Once all the petals are glued down, it's time to stretch the petals. Crepe paper has a slight stretch to it, which gives the flowers a more realistic look. When you look at your crepe paper, you can see that there's lines in the crepe paper. Now, your petals, you have to make sure that the lines are going vertical down your petals. Otherwise, when you stretch the petals, it's not going to make them look good. So gently pull the outside of the petals as well as the top edge. And once you do this for all the petals, your flower will look way more full and realistic.
I don't want it any other which way. When it gets rough, I promise I'll stay. Oh, my heart beats every time you look at me. Even when it gets real bad. Never gonna turn my back, even if it takes some time. Never gonna leave you behind. Girl, you need to know it's life means sometimes that we fight. At least we're sitting side by side.
Because the largest petals are so big, I found it helped a lot to glue the outer petals together. I just used a small dot of hot glue on each petal where the petals met, and I found this helped the flower to have better form and to be less droopy. Okay, so to attach your flower to the stem base, you have your little piece of cardboard that's sticking out, and I mean, you could just stick it right in, but it'll be standing up and you won't be able to see that beautiful inside. So all you really need to fix that is some more tape. Then you just angle your flower how you'd like it. Make sure that you turn it because some petals will fall differently if they're on the top or on the bottom. So just be aware of that. And then once you get it how you'd like it, just tape it down. Okay, now it stays on its own. So the taped base does not look the greatest. It looks a little unfinished. I mean, it is green, so I guess if you really didn't want to do another step, you could leave it like that. But we're just gonna finish it up a little bit so that it looks nice and more polished. And to do that, I'm going to use this green tissue paper that I just found at Walmart. I did cut it in half because it does wrap all the way around and then some. And having the whole piece of tissue paper would just be way too much wrapping, be way too much excess paper. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Mod Podge to attach this. I found that if you use too much Mod Podge, then the tissue paper doesn't look as good. So I would recommend just doing Mod Podge around all of the edges and leaving the middle without any glue. That's going to be more than enough glue for you. Once I got the paper on, I'm just going to use Mod Podge and glue the edges down as well. Okay. So you just get a little bit of Mod Podge on your brush and just kind of dab it on. And then I use my finger too if it's not smoothing down how I like it. And this will just make your tissue paper look a lot more seamless. And you just do that all the way down. Balloon arches have been super in for a while now. I can't get enough of them. I think they add a big, beautiful statement to a party while also being pretty inexpensive. I got these beautiful peach balloons from Amazon. I'll link them below. I'm just putting them together with a balloon arch kit. It's basically just like a plastic ribbon with holes in it. It's very straightforward, very easy to use. You just stick the ends of the balloons through the holes in the ribbon and you're done. When putting the balloons in the ribbon, I like to alternate how I put the balloons on. So, I put one balloon on the front of the ribbon, then on the next hole, I put a balloon on the back of the ribbon. I think alternating the balloons front to back helps make your balloon arch feel more full. And that's really it. It's super easy. To hang my balloon arch, I used string and just tied it to my curtain rod. But I've also heard of people using command hooks to hang up their balloon arches as well. I had a spare wood circle laying around, so I drilled a hole in the top, big enough for a string to pass through, and then used my mom's Cricut machine to cut out the words "Baby in Bloom," stuck those down, and then hung it under the balloon arch. My next major decoration was one of the easiest things ever. I went to the dollar store and grabbed a bunch of fake flowers in white and pink. I then cut the flowers apart so they each had their own individual stem. I bent the stems to form a hook, and then hung them on my DIY chandelier in my living room. I think it turned out so beautiful, and I think it would make the cutest light fixture for a little girl's room. I set out this chalkboard on our porch. Fun fact, this was a DIY from my wedding. I took my childhood chalkboard, sanded it down, stained the wood, and repainted the actual chalkboard with a black chalkboard paint, and voila! For food, I did a super fun charcuterie board with raspberries, mini Reese's, chocolate dipped strawberries, chocolate dipped pretzels, and white chocolate dipped pink wafer cookies. I found frozen cream puffs and eclairs at Target. I made cupcakes and dyed deviled eggs so they were pink. I also made a strawberry mint water, which was so delicious. I'm sure you've noticed if you've ever thrown a party that as soon as the party starts, it seems to go by so fast. I feel like everyone came, I blinked, and then it was over. I didn't get any footage of the actual party. A couple of the activities I did for the party, I set up a pedicure station because our mama to be is having a little bit of a hard time reaching her feet right about now. I set up a cupcake decorating station where people could learn how to frost different kinds of flowers on cupcakes with buttercream frosting. I had a cute little station with diapers and markers diapers for people to write cute little notes on the bum of the diapers for the new parents. And then of course we had the DIY booth with all of our giant flowers for people to take pictures with. It turned out to be an amazing party. Everyone had so much fun. Let me know in the comments below what decoration was your favorite. If you guys are going to try any of these DIYs, let me know. I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button so you can keep DIYing with me all the time. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.